Welcome to the Love to Grow podcast, where leaders grow their leadership. This is episode 3. We've been talking about perspective. Y'all have really poured in, talking about how much these first 2 episodes have blessed you. And that's been a blessing hearing that. But we got to keep going. And this episode, for me, is that episode that puts it all together. So dig in, grab your pencil, grab your pen, paper, immerse yourself in this message, and I'll come back on the other side and we'll talk. So now you know it's all about perspective. But there's a reason why people still don't get to the next level of life, because you have to build upon it. Today I'm going to talk about 4 things that destroys your momentum when it comes of building upon this new perspective. Are y'all ready? Let's get into it. So years ago, me and my family went down to Tennessee and we went whitewater rafting. And I'm not sure if you've ever done that before, but it's a great opportunity to see the area. It's a great way to see some incredible scenes. And it's a lot of fun getting into that raft. And a lot of times you have a guide with you. And typically you're going with the current, and may start off with the conditions are pretty calm. But throughout the journey down the stream, the current or the river, you start to get a little bit turbulent. And what tends to happen is that it takes a team effort plus the guide to help guide you down the river to get to the end. But I want you to think about how hard it would be if you actually had to go against the current and actually travel upstream. That is how difficult it could be to have a new perspective and to keep it. That is why it's so difficult for us to get to a new level of life, because we have a lot of things that keep us from having the momentum we need to get to this next level. Today I'm going to talk about 4 things that keeps you from building upon having this new perspective. Y'all ready? So one of the first things that keeps you from building upon the momentum, or even sometimes that causes you to lose this momentum when you're trying to build upon this new perspective, is that you're spending too much time around people who doesn't have this perspective. See, mentalities are extremely contagious. Have you ever heard the expression, if you spend time around 9 broke people, you'll become the 10th? The opposite is also true. That's because the mindset that people have often can affect and impact your mindset. So when you're going through this new life and you have this new perspective of who you are, whose you are, and what you can do, it's really important not to get around people and spend a lot of time around people who don't think that way. Because unfortunately, you're just kind of getting into this journey of thinking this way. You don't have enough root to protect yourself from the cynicism, the negativity, the mindset of others who want to pull you down to the level they are. And I'm not saying that because people don't have this perspective that you or me or anybody is better than anybody else. But you have to see yourself a certain way. You cannot allow others who don't have that perspective to start making you look at yourself differently. You have to keep that perspective. You have to hold on to it. You have to have that momentum, because it's going to take the momentum of getting to the place you need to be so you can do the things you need to do, so you can have the things you need to have. You got to hold on to that perspective as tight as you can, and you cannot spend time around people who don't have that perspective, because they will truly affect how you see it. They will truly affect how you perceive it, your perspective, how you move. It's unfortunately the way it is. We need all the momentum we can get going upstream. Think about the whitewater rafting example I use. How difficult would it be if you were in that raft by yourself, just trying to do it yourself, and then you had maybe somebody get in the raft with you and started working against the very momentum you need to get upstream? It'd be very difficult. So that's one way to kill your momentum of building upon this new perspective, which leads to the second way. We do not get around people who have this new perspective. We fail to connect with those who share this new perspective. See, when you get around a community of people who truly see it the way you see it, who truly know who they are, whose they are, and what they could do, it's like getting in the raft with someone else. And every time y'all encourage each other, share resources with each other, y'all sharpen each other, y'all get stronger, the teamwork gets stronger, so now you can fight yourself upstream, because it's gonna take that level of community to get to the place you're trying to get to. I wish that this journey was easy, but if it was easy, would it be worth having? It takes the mindset, it takes the perspective, it takes the commitment to building upon that momentum with others who also see it that way. And when you spend time around people who have this momentum, who have this perspective, that means they also see you as valuable, because they know you also have value in you, just like you see the value in them. So it's that gift that keeps giving back, because you're pouring into that person, the person is pouring into you. And I love the expression that anything that's worthwhile is obtained uphill. Anything worthwhile is obtained uphill, meaning that if it's easy to get, we won't appreciate it as much. But you have to have this new perspective, and you have to build upon it around people who also have it. Build those communities, encourage each other, avoid being around people who don't see it that way, because that's going to affect you. And then if you can build upon this momentum with other people who share this perspective, you could take that group and put them in a group of people who don't necessarily have that perspective and impact them. But you can't go in those environments by yourself. You need a team. Y'all need to sharpen each other before you go into those areas. So that's the second way. The third way, really important here, that you don't actually take this new perspective and do the hard work of working on yourself every day. So when you get something, it's a seed. And we must spend time watering that seed. We must spend time listening to things to reiterate and reinforce what we do, what we now believe. And the hard thing is that it takes work to keep this mentality. It takes work to build upon it, because the perspective you've had, you got to undo that. It's difficult to build upon it, because for so long you were building upon an old perspective. So you must work on yourself physically, you must work on yourself mentally, you must work on yourself spiritually and financially. And every time you work on yourself in this way, you begin watering that seed. That seed has taken root, but you must cultivate the ground. You must spend time in the environment that help nourish its proper growth. You must take your personal growth and development seriously if you want to see your life get to this new level. A perspective is only good. It's only good as long as you can harness it, as long as you can build upon this momentum. And the fourth way that can destroy your momentum, the fourth way that can keep you from not getting to that next level because you can't get the momentum you need, is that you begin to revert back into an old perspective. The difficult thing is that it's like taking a shower. If you go out into the world, you're going to get dirty again. And what if I only took a shower once a week? By the time I take another shower, I'm going to be extremely dirty. It's important that every day you go out to try to undo the old mindset. The old mindset is not completely dead. It's lurking around the corner waiting for you to receive it again. But you are not that person anymore. You have to walk into this new way of looking at yourself. You have to walk in this new way of understanding who you are. You have to walk in this new way of what you can do. And you must build upon that. It's easy to entertain an old perspective simply because that old perspective is who you've been comfortable with, who you've been conditioned by. You can't let environments, you can't let people, you can't let even past mistakes live rent-free in your head and dictate your decisions. This new perspective, you have to hold on to it. You have to give yourself a reminder, not just every day, but throughout every day. Be intentional being in community. Be intentional. Get around people who see it this way. Not so that it can tell you everything you want to hear, but you need to have a community of people who also believe in you just as much as you believe in you, because you're going to be doing the same for them. Don't let an old mindset pull you back down and make you lose the momentum. Don't allow this journey to be sabotaged because you don't do the hard work of working on yourself physically, mentally, spiritually, and financially. Don't allow negativity, doubt to creep in and slow the momentum you need to get to this new level. Understand that you will get to the place that you're called to get to, just as long as you keep working on yourself. And I have so much more to share with y'all. And I've been in perspective for a while because perspective is everything. We're going to talk a little bit more about perspective throughout this journey. But I just want y'all to understand, we're going to build, we're going to grow, we're going to get there together. But for now, we're going to end it, and I can't wait to pick it back up. And thank y'all for your time. Y'all be blessed. I told y'all this episode is a powerful one. I truly appreciate y'all taking the time and just listening and absorbing the information. Thank y'all for all the messages, the texts, the comments, the feedback. I truly feel like this is growing, and I truly feel that this is blessing a lot of people. But this is truly a blessing for me to do it. And so let's continually build each other up, continually tune in, and let's see where we can take this thing together. And before I go, I do have to say this. One of the things that destroys momentum is not being a part of a community of people who share their perspective. And we have been building a community of people who have this perspective, who help each other, hold each other accountable. And that community is my Patreon. And you can join my Patreon for free right now. It's Joshua Clowney. You can just search it in Patreon, or you can follow the link in this podcast. But again, thank y'all so much for your time. And if it's something that's blessed you, feel free to share it with someone else you think it'll bless. Let's take this journey together as we grow into our leadership. Because I know if you're listening, you love to grow. Y'all be blessed.